Joining me on the set is our foreign editor, Angela Diffley. Hello to you, Angela. It seems like the far-right National Rally has been able to keep its momentum from those European Parliament elections we saw earlier this month.
Yeah, if you look at those polls, they've all gone up a little bit. And whatever else you say about this snap election, it appears to be concentrating people's minds. There has been a massive jump in the number of people who've registered for postal votes or proxy votes. There is a real interest in voting, and the turnout is likely to be high. We're getting to the end of the first week of a campaign that lasts only 2 weeks, so things are fast and furious. I would say that, the dominant theme this week, after a horrifying alleged crime against a 12-year-old Jewish girl who was allegedly raped by two 13-year-olds, has been violent crime amongst young people and anti-Semitism. Now, as to how that translates onto voting intentions, it's not that straightforward. Those who criticise the Rassemblement National on the far right say this has been a historically anti-Semitic party. The idea that it is no longer is false. They pretend to have changed but haven't really. Those who criticise the far left, which is the dominant component in the left-wing alliance, say that they have, the far-left grouping within that, have fanned the flames of anti-Semitism deliberately using the background of the war in Gaza. Those who criticise the centre, Emmanuel Macron's bloc, say that they have simply failed to address what is a growing problem and have done nothing in power. So as to how that translates into voting intentions, and this has been the dominant theme this week, difficult to say. Also, it should be noted, France does not collect ethnic statistics. There are no identifiable ethnic votes. And and in any case, the Jewish community in France is estimated to be quite small, so that isn't likely to translate into an identifiable vote. Another thing to mention is there have been far-right demonstrations in a number of towns and cities. Quite often on the fringes of those, there has been significant violence that will only play into the hands of the far right. So I think they're the sort of dominant events of this week. And it is already pretty feverish, pretty ugly.
Yeah, and then this Friday we saw that left-wing alliance, the New Popular Front, unveiling its economic manifesto here in downtown Paris. Take a listen.
Firstly, repeal of the pension reforms, repeal of unemployment insurance reforms, an increase in purchasing power, an increase in the minimum wage to €1,600 net per month, 10% increase in housing benefit, which is €25 billion by 2024.
And Angela, that press conference coming because this alliance was under pressure to make its lofty, campaign pledges seem more realistic. What were the key takeaways for you?
Yeah, we haven't, should be noted, yet had detailed plans from the other parties. This is as they told us to expect, a pretty classic tax and spend manifesto. We just heard there some of the things they plan to increase. And of course, the question always is, how well costed is this? Will there be enough money? In order to raise money for some of their plans, which include increasing public sector wages and increasing the minimum wage and raising the retirement age to match that minimum wage, in order to finance that, they say they will reintroduce the wealth tax, which was there under François Hollande. They say they will introduce an exit tax for people who are moving their tax residence. And they say they will find money by looking at waste and fraud. It is always the case when any party presents their manifesto. A lot of the figures are done on estimates. Some economists say this will not work. The money they expect to raise is simply not enough to pay for what they expect to do with it. Some economists say this looks pretty fairly funded. These things are pretty hard to really analyse.